If you're an ADHD entrepreneur, your workspace may be sabotaging your performance. Let's talk about the 5 things that are probably causing you the most problems so you can get them fixed. When I first started studying how to improve our event layouts so that I could help our guests stay focused a little bit better, I had no idea that I was going to end up applying the same concepts to my own business for a massive improvement in my own ability to focus and get things done. And now I run trainings every single year for thousands of entrepreneurs on how their workspace is impacting their ability to focus so that they can do this kind of set it and forget it idea, which is one of the best pieces about having a workspace that supports your ability to focus and get things done. Number 1, bad lighting equals bad brain power. Now, that lighting can be coming into play so many different ways. That can be the types of lighting, that can be the color of lighting, and that can also be the direction of the lighting that you have in your workspace. So types of lighting is going to be stuff like trying to avoid things like fluorescence as much as possible. As great as they are, they have this really weird hum as well as a flicker that is actually incredibly draining on your brain because your brain is processing that hum and that flicker whether or not it's letting you know about it, which is eating away at your capacity, kind of like having a program running in the background on your computer. As far as color goes, having overly harsh or overly bright lighting that is far too white or blue-based can drain the eyes as well. Now, blue-based lighting is great for waking you up. Your brain's awesome for that, but it can also really quickly add this mental leak of energy inside of your brain. So trying to lean on warmer lighting as well as softer lighting can help make sure that your area is lit well enough. You don't want to have shadows and not be able to see, but you also want to make sure that the lighting isn't causing eye strain. And directions of lighting, as much as possible, try and avoid overhead lights. Overhead lights add shadows. They can be really harsh. They do not light things up very well. They tend to be harsher because they are coming from overhead. And so they're trying to get everything just from one angle. As much as you can, try and get lights that are coming from multiple angles around the workspace. So if you notice in my background, I've got a whole bunch of lights that are all angled at the walls, reflecting, adding light, adding vibrance to the room, but not necessarily adding a level of harshness that makes it really hard to focus through. Number 2, clutter clogs. So I understand that clutter happens. Here's the problem. Clutter starts to eat at your brain's capacity as well because your brain is still registering that all of that stuff is going on all around your workspace. It's still registering that there are papers about to fall over because they're stacked up too high. It's still registering that there's about 40 different pens that you're not possibly using. It's still registering all these pieces. It's just not telling you. So once again, we're back to that little brain, that little leak that's just sucking away at your energy. So clear the clutter. Even if you have to get just a clutter basket that sits underneath your desk, out of sight, out of mind. And once a week you go in and clear all the clutter off your desk, reorganize, reset everything, and put it down in the basket. Because for me, I always have stuff that I don't want to throw away. I can't throw away. I'm panicked about throwing it away. But I also understand that I need to have a clear workspace in order to be able to perform. So I put all of that clutter down below, and then once every 6 months or so, I'll go through, and all of a sudden I'll find that box that I couldn't throw away before because I didn't know if I'd need it, I have no problem throwing away because I haven't even seen it for 6 months, so I clearly didn't need it. Number 3 is the background noise. Now, this is really important because you cannot always control background noise. There are some things you can do, especially if you're working in a busier workspace. You can get earplugs. There are earplugs that are actually built to help still pass through voices, but still block a lot of the ambient noise. So I highly recommend looking into some of those if you have to work in a crowded environment. You can get headphones too and get some music going. And there's great music out there. And if you look up Muzak, M-U-Z-A-K, you can find a lot of music that is actually built around your brain's processing capacity to help keep you focused or creative or whatever it is you need to do. Now, quick note, not all of the music out there is built around the tempos, key signatures, and instruments that we know through studies are actually supporting the brain going into specific modes, but there is still a lot of really good stuff out there that you can replace background hums, like a background hum for an AC or a fluorescent light, or maybe you're just on a busy street and there's always stuff going on. But that background noise is probably chewing away at your capacity more than you realize. So do something about mitigating it, whether that is getting music going or whether that's getting a set of earplugs. One of those two is going to help you out a lot. Number 4 is ceiling height. Now, this is not one most people think of, but a really cool study was done back in 2007 where they discovered that the height of your ceiling either primes your brain to focus or be more creative. In fact, they found just a 2-foot difference in ceiling height makes a drastic difference about what your brain is primed to do. So here's what I recommend. Since most of us forgot to install our ceiling height changer when we moved in. What I would recommend is just keep this in mind when you're choosing where you're going to work for the day. If you need to be more creative, go find a place with higher ceilings. I live in a place that has great vaulted ceilings that you can kind of see behind me. So that's fantastic when I want to be creative, especially because I can just sit on the floor, get even more space overhead, and it really helps spark this much more creative approach to solving things. If I need to focus, a lot of times I will actually stand up so I'm closer to the ceiling since I have a sit-stand desk. Or I will actually build a pillow fort, which is wild, but it actually works really, really well. If I absolutely cannot seem to get focused, I will try and go into a different room that has lower ceilings because it does help make a difference in what your brain is focusing on. And number 5 is what scents are happening while you're working. Some of us have primed our brains automatically to register certain scents as meaning it is time to focus and work. If you have an actual work office, you probably have primed your brain that sense of toner and work coffee, slightly burnt. All of these things mean that it's time to focus and work. But if you don't, then it may be time to get yourself a scent that is your office scent only, that is your work scent only. So find a candle. Usually citrus and herb based are the ones that help your brain stay in focus mode. So I would recommend trying to find something in that family. But find a candle that you can light while you work, or get one of those diffusers that will turn on and diffuse a specific scent while you work. The more often you do this, the more you will train your brain that this scent means it's focus time and it's work time. Turn the scent off when it's time to stop working so that you train your brain that, hey, when this scent is coming through, because your brain's going to register it, even if it's not actively consciously alerting you to it, because again, that change blindness kicks in. So your brain goes, oh, this scent is going. I don't need to tell her it's there. But as long as it's there, the brain is going, aha, I got to focus a little bit more. So find yourself a scent that can be your work scent, your focus scent. Or maybe you get a specific scent that is just for you when you are in strategic planning mode for your business. But get a scent that helps move you into that space for your head, that gets you in peak performance or gets you in flow state. Trust me, this is one of the coolest things you can do to train your brain, kind of Pavlov your own brain into going into whatever mode it is you need to. I've been putting on events for more than a decade at this point, and when I started to realize that the space we were using and how we had it set up was making a drastic difference in our guests' ability to focus, to retain information so they could actually do something with it on the backside, that was when I started to realize the impact that just the space we live and exist in has on our ability to perform or do what we need to do. I highly, highly recommend you explore this for yourself. There's some great studies out there, but you can just start with these 5 things. Choose one, and it will make a massive difference for you from here on out.